Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Laurie.
I'm Hannah.
And she's checking to see if we're showing up on her phone.
Yep.
And I see us. And she's going to check and see if she can hear us because we always like to do that. Yes, very good. So we are Journey with the Gingers, and we are so glad to have y'all with us tonight. We are so excited.
Yeah. Well, there may be some people that don't know us, so you may just want to do a quick.
Oh, if you don't know us, we are, of course, mom-daughter team. We love to travel when we can. We haven't traveled a lot in the last year, but we have done a lot of road trips and fun stuff. So we do that on our channel. We sometimes throw in some lifestyle stuff just to kind of fill in when we can't travel. But
revealing all the secrets.
Yep, telling all the secrets. So if y'all are not already subscribed to our channel, we would love for y'all to hit that subscribe button and join our journey because we're going to have a great 2021. I've already decided.
I've already come up with the backup plan. I've already planned the backup plan.
Okay, well, we got a travel backup plan?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I've already planned the backup plan.
But we are so excited to have this channel with us tonight, and we're going to bring them in. We have No Maps Needed Travel. It's Matty and Scott, and they are so much fun. We've already been talking to them behind the scenes. So
we're almost late.
Yeah, we're almost late because we love them and we just love talking to them. So let's bring them in.
Let's say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm gonna double check really quick because she's on.
Yeah.
All right.
But this tell the group which
the group
tell the chat or the people that are watching which one is which. Who's Matty?
I am Matty. My full name is Matthew, but I go with Matty. It was something for the longest time everybody used to call me Matthew, and then high school somebody called me Matty, and I turned around and I was like, yeah, I like that better. So Matty it is.
That makes me Scott.
Yeah. Well, we are so glad to have you. We're going to start by recognizing who we have in the chat.
Yes.
And Hannah's over here working StreamYard. So let's see who we have.
I don't know what I did. Whoopsie. Okay, so I think I can't find their first chat, but we have them.
Cheap Meal Food Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're friends with you all too, aren't they?
Yes. Cat based out of Oxnard, California.
Nice. Okay.
All right, there's Billy Sparks.
We got Billy Sparks. Hey, Billy.
Yeah, it definitely deleted some of my comments. I'm so sorry. So it deleted some of them. But just keep going. I got this.
Okay, go ahead. We have Innocents Abroad. If y'all didn't catch that live stream last week, we had a great time with them. And that is also in our videos if you're interested in watching because they're awesome.
Nice.
So we have Jonathan.
No.
We had Chad Cruisers. Hi, Chad Cruisers. And y'all have actually traveled with them.
Yes, we have.
We love Chad Cruisers. They're awesome.
Yes.
And we have Jonathan Short, and he's from the channel The Six Traveling Shorts.
Yes.
And we have Nick Torres. Hi, Nick. Glad to have you. And Holly E. Hello, Holly.
We love Bob and Holly. We love everybody that's on here, but we love Bob and Holly.
We love Bob and Holly too. They're now our family.
Don't forget to hit that like button. Whoop, whoop. Oh, I did not.
Hello, the Down Under Cruisers.
I definitely
Hello.
First message.
And I think, is it 11? Mm-hmm. What time is it there?
Bruh.
11 a.m.?
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
That's what I know. It's tomorrow and the sun is up.
Hannah's not going to do math for us tonight.
Yeah. The one learn that we always hear is from Chris from Chad Cruisers. He always calls it the future. The future.
That's true.
Yeah, so Australia is the future. So there we go.
It's like what's happening over there in Australia. What can we expect?
I hope tomorrow looks great.
All right. And we got Q's Cruisers.
Hey, Q's Cruisers. So glad to have y'all.
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo. Life is good today, Ronnie and Alma.
I'm scrolling. Oh. Who is it? Blaine.
Hello, was Blaine.
Blaine. And I totally missed Anthony Simone.
Hey, Anthony. So glad to have you. I hope you're feeling better. I know you weren't feeling well earlier in the week.
And
Hi, Dave. Glad to have you.
I'm cruising.
I'm so bad at looking at the computer, but I get excited to see who's here.
Cruising for food.
Cruising for food. Hello, hello.
Hello. And I'm sorry if I skipped anybody.
If she skipped you, say hey again, because it kind of did this rolling kind of thing.
No, it deleted some of my comments I was going to highlight. I was like, that's lovely. Thank you.
StreamYard. Hello, Mary Ellen Dillon. She's working, but she'll be listening in. We appreciate it.
And there it is. There's the comment.
Hannah.
I always look for that comment. I'm just like, where is it? I know it's in here.
You don't worry if Blaine didn't say it.
I mean, are you okay? Are you over there? Are you over there? There we go. Holly Ayers. Hello.
Hello, Holly.
We got Going Places.
We got 2 Hollies here tonight.
We got
Hello, Going Places. Thank you for coming.
There's so many chats.
Lovey Spat Live. Hi, guys.
Hello.
We were there.
We were with them on Monday on their live, and it was fantastic. They did a great job. It was their first live, and they just went all out. They had intros for their guests. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that coordinated. John did such a good job. And we're going to have Lovey's Fat Life with us in 2 weeks.
Yep. So look, you have just
you have a fan club, Matty and Scott.
Yeah,
Woo, look at there. Love it.
That's funny.
Love it.
It's all those comments. Oh my God, I did not just do that. There's more. I thought I got to the end and there's more.
All right, I'm going to let Hannah keep on working on that. I'm going to start talking.
Alrighty.
So if y'all were not with us last week, we shared that we're kind of, I guess the word is pivot on our channel, and we changed from doing trivia to interviewing awesome creators like Matty and Scott. And so we are just loving this format now. This is fun, being interactive and actually getting to know all these great creators. So like I said, we will be having Lovey's Fat Life. We're also going to have Rayleigh Creative Travel coming up. But next week, we're not going to be live because my husband and I are going to the beach. We're just going to go look at the ocean for a few days. And so we won't be live next week.
Hannah will be babysitting the dogs.
Hannah will be babysitting the dogs.
By myself. I don't think the dogs would appreciate it if I took an hour of their time away from them. You know the deal. That's what happens.
But speaking of awesome creators, if you are a creator, if you could go ahead and just put #creator in the comments, because we definitely want you to, we have some new channels here that you may not have seen before. So we definitely want you to check out their channels and support one another. So at this time, if you are a creator, just put #creator so we can recognize you. And, you know, sometimes when I'm watching lives and they do that, I take a little piece of paper out and I just write down, you know, the creators that I had never heard of before. And I'm like, and I'll go back and check on the channels. So please do that, because we always say that we would never be where we are without our creator community, for sure.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
They said it's tomorrow and it's 11.
It's tomorrow.
There you go. It's tomorrow.
I got the time right.
Okay. Darian somewhere in here. I cannot find this column, but I know it's in here.
Well, who?
Magnificent.
Germany with Darren.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
right in front of me.
Darian.
Can't do my job. I saw him.
And Darian just did the 40 question challenge that we challenged him in this week. So you haven't seen that, check it out. He did such a good job.
Yep. And then D&G.
Hey, D&G Explorers. So glad to have y'all.
Greg.
And Christopher Gutierrez.
And Christopher. He's from Chad Cruisers.
I'm going. You keep talking.
I keep on talking.
You keep on talking.
Well, we're going to, as we start talking about asking questions to Matty and Scott, Hannah's going to kind of go ahead and click on the creators that say they're creators, and that way you can, you know, make note of that too. Okay. All right, guys, are y'all ready?
We're ready.
Yeah.
We're ready to learn all about y'all. So, all right. First of all, we know you're from Canada.
Yeah.
You saw the thumbnail. I tried to bring in some Canadian
thumbnails.
So what part of Canada do you all live in?
So we lived just outside of Vancouver, but basically we can say Vancouver, British Columbia. We're in one of the suburbs, so we're actually in Delta, but it's like a 40-minute drive from downtown Vancouver. So it's we're close enough where we can drive and be downtown, or drive to the beach, or even drive up to the mountains if we want, all within like a couple hour distance.
So what is the temperature there? I'm just curious.
Well, currently,
Maddie's gonna look.
let's find out. Let's see. And nope, wrong widget. It is 8 degrees Celsius. So, goodness.
Oh no, we got the Celsius versus Fahrenheit.
You know what?
Fahrenheit.
She's gonna ask Siri.
It's 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's not much difference from us these days, though. Right now we're like 58. The high today was only 59 here in South Carolina. So
that is a difference, though. That's like a 10-degree difference.
I saw a video where y'all said something about, I forgot what it is, that y'all don't see much snow.
No, we and it's funny because actually with D&G Explorers, we were talking to Derek about this the other day. Is we'll get snow, but then it will hit the ground, and we get all happy. But then we also get a little concerned because Vancouverites don't know how to drive in snow. No, that's the only thing we're going to. So they're not used to it. So when the snow comes, it's almost like the city shuts down within like minutes. And so when the snow hits the ground, we love it. We see it. We're like, yay. And then we'll blink our eyes and it's gone because it's just rain. And so it's like, you can't enjoy it, but you can. So. Yeah.
Scott's face when he just said city, he was just like, that's why I was laughing. I'm sorry. I was just laughing because I saw your face thinking, what did you say? Oh gosh. Okay, you keep going. I'm sorry.
All right. So what made you all start vlogging? Because y'all started this like recently.
Yeah. So we started vlogging and our channel in August. And the reason why we really wanted to do it was to kind of create memories for ourselves. We're individuals that love to take photos, and we'll post it on Facebook and send it to our families. And while we're on vacation, email them to them or send it via Messenger. However, we decided that, it was the next best thing to do was to actually get some video and create memories that way. Mm-hmm. And so we created that. But not only that is, it was a platform also for myself with having mobility issues, with providing other individuals that it's easy to travel, and it's still feasible to travel, and don't think that with a mobility issue or a disability that should let you stay where you are in your four walls. Go venture the world. It's the world is for everybody, and it needs to be ventured and viewed. So.
That's so right. My mother has mobility issues too, and we learned, I think on our Norwegian escape trip, all the things that they do have for you to assist you to make it so much easier. And it was just so pleasant to be able to have all that assistance for her, so that she enjoyed the trip just as much as I did.
Exactly. Yeah, we realized like there are outlets for people who have mobility issues that we didn't know about, because we went on a cruise with her, and she took off, and we were like, where did you go? And she said, oh, this man told me that he could take me up the ramp with the wheelchair, and it was a part of the provided service that we didn't know about. But we were like, did you not think that you should tell us?
She just disappeared.
She was gone, and I was like, I am your cabin mate, I have to check in with you.
But
you're like, grandma.
She announced it. She's 79 years old, and she called the other night, and she said, I know where I want to go first when it's safe to travel. And I said, where? And she said, I want to go to Florida.
Thinking she's talking about a beach.
Yeah, and I want to stay at least a week, and I want to do Universal Studios and Walt Disney.
Oh, wow.
Good on you, Grandma. Good on you, Grandma.
But we said, what rides would you ride? She said, All of them. I said, you have that problem, my dear. You can't.
She's precious.
Yeah.
And those of you in the chat, if y'all have any questions for Matty and Scott, please ask them, and Hannah will grab them and ask them for you too.
And there is an really creative travel just put in.
Thank you, Blaine, for putting their channel. Please check it out if y'all haven't already. Subscribe to them.
Look what Innocents Abroad put. Matty, this is a family show.
We're all family. It's all right. All right. Tell us about how you came up with the name of your channel.
So we actually didn't come up with it. We were talking with my best friend, and we were, explaining what we wanted to do and trying to come up with ideas. And we were bouncing ideas back and forth. And the one that stuck was my best friend's idea. So we didn't name ourselves. I guess we had a part in it. But my best friend Fiona was the one who came up with it. So props to her for coming up with our name for us.
I bet
It might have even been her husband. I'm not sure, but one of them came up with it.
It might have been Roger. It might have been another one. But when we had like our vision board with all of our names, and there was some names that we were just like, when we looked at it again, we're like, no, we're gonna toss that one.
We were gonna, use our initials, and that wasn't gonna work the right
way.
So
so yeah.
I just got it. You get it? Like DG, Matty, and Scott.
If you flip it the other way around.
Okay, let's
talk about it later.
Yeah, let's talk about that later. But when she flipped it our way, we were just like, that's it.
Yeah.
Stop. That's it. So
one of my coworkers came up with ours.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just know I want to talk about a redhead, and we're traveling. And she was like, oh, Journey with the Gingers. I was like, I'm taking that. No credit, but thank you.
She called me and she goes, we have a name. But it's kind of an honor to your friend too, because your friend now can look back and say, hey, I helped them start their channel in a way. So that's kind of cool.
Exactly.
All right. So on your channel lately, you've been posting some shorts like a lot of us. And you have one that we would consider going viral. So tell us about that video and how you reacted to its popularity.
So with the whole shorts thing, all of a sudden we started seeing these like tutorials coming up on YouTube about shorts, and we're like, what the heck is a short? And I'm personally myself, I'm not big into TikTok. I mean, I have a 13-year-old niece and a 10-year-old niece that absolutely are addicted to TikTok. And so long story short, we figured out that shorts were identical to TikTok videos. And I was just like, okay, let's try it out. And, with communication with some friends, we were like, okay, we're going to try this. We're going to try that. And our first short we created was the pilot getting off of a tender, or getting off of a ship, sorry. And lo and behold, we posted it, and we were like, okay, you know what, we're going to see how it is. And so post it, go to bed, wake up in the morning, go to TubeBuddy and look down, and I was like, oh, okay, it's got a good 900 views. That's okay. I'll leave it as that.
Put it in the algorithm.
And okay, you start your day and do whatever. And I think it was actually a message from Scott, and he was like, have you seen TubeBuddy recently? And I was like, no. And I clicked on it, and all of a sudden it went from 900 to 15,550 views, and my mouth just went boosh.
My earrings keep falling out of my ears. I'm just gonna take them off and put them on the table. But she looked at it yesterday, and it had like 30, almost 30.
I was looking at your about section on your page, and it said you had over 30,000 views, maybe more, on your page. And I'm like, they just started August, so they have more views than we do.
Because of that. And
it's because of
we
that.
Don't know why. Obviously, you don't really know why.
Yeah, it's so cool though.
But I think I know why. It's a very first off, I think it's a very smooth video. Yeah. But the music makes it look like it comes from a movie. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's the comments that we've heard. Yeah. And so it's like, even the last few days we've seen it slow down a little bit, and then it ramps up and it slows down. But I mean, we've seen some shorts do really well for us, and some shorts go. And you're just like, okay, 57 views. Thank you to the 57 individuals that watched that video. You know what? From the bottom of our heart, thank you so much. But whenever we consistently look at that one, I'll scroll down and be like, okay, hey, Scotty. And he'd be like, yeah, another 2,000 views. And he's like, what the?
I love it. That's so exciting, though. I felt the same way when I was watching it, because that's something I always, when I'm on a cruise, I always like to watch the pilot getting on off the boat.
That's true.
It's kind of like that, and Pier Runners are my two favorite things to watch. So I thought that was awesome.
It's funny with the pilot, because that was actually when we were in Alaska. Was it Alaska?
No, I think
it
might have been.
I think that was Alaska.
We have a few videos of them, but I think the best one that we don't have footage of, but I wish we did, because it would probably have just as many views. It was an Alaskan cruise, but we were in the middle of a storm, and the cruise ship was going like this. The pilot boat was going like this, and they weren't matching up. But the pilot was about to jump on the ship, and we watched the whole thing happen, and it was scary to watch. But they just jump on, like
jumps right on. And I was just
really like I would have fallen in that water and died.
That's not funny, but like that's good.
That's not funny, but yeah, I wish we had footage of that.
Yeah, that one would have been awesome, because I was like, Scott, did he just do that? He's like, yeah, he just did that. And I was like, are you sure he's not in the water? And I was like, no, he's there. And he pulled up the ladder, and you could see his arm kind of wave up and go like that. And I was just like, nope.
Not a job I would want to do.
Blaine says it's at 36,000 now, he thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, we checked it. I'm telling you, we checked it the other day.
Yeah,
and it was 29,000.
Yeah.
So, and that was like 3 days ago.
That's just fun, though. Isn't that fun?
It's fun, and it's like I said, and we've gained quite a bit of subscribers from that short, and we're excited, because it was something different, right? So
yeah.
It looks like we got a question from somebody else.
Okay.
You get to pause.
All right, go ahead.
So it says, when cruising resumes, would you prefer a shore excursion to a famous site, or go to a great restaurant with local food?
Oh,
I think I know what I would do.
I guess to me it would depend on where I was, to be honest, but I do like good local food, so I would probably want to go sit in a restaurant and get some good food.
For myself, I'd have to agree with Scott. I think it would be, but there's some really good famous sites. Mm-hmm. Like, it's based on really, Bob, you. No, I agree with Scotty. We really don't focus on food on our channels, but we do love a good. We're foodies in a way, but we don't express it to be that we are foodies. Mm-hmm. But we enjoy a good restaurant, and I believe it was your guys' conversation actually with Bob and Holly last week. And like, I'm not a big fan of chain restaurants when I go to explore, or when we travel. We'd rather find the really nice, like, cute hole in the walls, like the local places, to be able to eat and like to be able to experience that culture. So I would have to say local restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my choice was. I was like, oh my gosh, I would definitely, because we went to, and I'm so sorry, I just hit you. we went to the Bahamas, and granted, like, Bahamas are a beautiful country, you know, everything. But we went on like this tour one time, and he took us to like this local restaurant and had some of the best drinks and food and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so basically, when she goes back to Nassau, she was just like, she told the cab driver, she didn't take any excursion. Yeah. She was like, I just want to go get this food. Yeah. Like, I want this food.
When we go to Nassau, we now get a cab and we go down to Fish Fry, which is a lot of little shacks, and they're all restaurants, and they have the best drink, and it's called Sky Juice.
Is it Twin Brothers?
Yeah, there's Twin Brothers is the one we ate at in the whole little thing. Yeah. But Sky Juice, our driver said, when you go, you only drink one. He said, because you will regret the second one.
They had like conch, like chowder or gumbo or something. And I'm not a huge fan of like chowder or anything, but I was like, dang, that's good.
Yeah, it was delicious. Yes. All right. So we heard you both are travel agents. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so we have really been talking about when the world is healthier that we want to travel through Canada.
Okay.
Preferably, if it's possible, by train. So
Okay.
if we did that, and we would definitely call on you guys. If we did that, what would you where would you suggest we go?
Like what's a must?
Some highlights, yeah.
It depends, first of all, how you want to go about the train travel. So you can actually take a train from like one side of Canada to the other. Or there's options where you can do like the Rocky Mountaineer, which just sort of does BC
and
go through the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah.
And you can go to like Jasper and Banff area, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That is one place I would recommend is Jasper and Banff. 2 places, but there you go. They are two, quaint little towns. There's mountains and lakes and everything there. You sort of get the best of the mountains. Obviously, I'm going to say Vancouver. You need to come see Vancouver. And there's so much to do here locally that, we are 2 hours away from Whistler Mountain, which is big ski hill resort here in BC. We have, beaches and ocean, just, a few 20 minutes
away
from our house.
We have some of the greatest wineries in I would say, I personally would say in North America, but I'm not trying to be on it biased, but there is probably significantly a lot better ones. But in Kelowna, you can do some really nice wine tours. That's how we technically traveled with Brad and Chris at Chad Cruisers. With Chad Cruisers. Is we convened together and we went to Kelowna and we enjoyed our experience there with them. But yeah, I would honestly suggest most likely the Rocky Mountaineer. You can either do it from Vancouver over into Banff or Jasper or vice versa. And then they have one that goes further up into the middle of British Columbia back down to Vancouver, or you can go through the interior of British Columbia as well. But I would do that. But I know I personally haven't been on the train trip across Canada, but I know that's an experience on its own.
So that would be via rail.
Yeah.
And it will do stops in most of the major cities across the way. So you usually end up stopping in like Calgary or Edmonton. It depends. I don't know for sure. If Brad is on from Chad Cruisers, he might be able to answer this for us in the chat. He is a train person. So, but you can go right across Canada. It makes stops in most of the major cities. And then the other option you could do is sort of the eastern side of things and do Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto sort of route and do a trip that way. I would recommend if you came up here, Montreal, Old Quebec City.
Oh, yes.
Toronto is a great city to visit if you just want to be in the middle of a big city. There isn't as much, the middle of Canada, the prairies, as we call it. Getting into Alberta,
the poor prairies. Those poor prairies.
We have those too.
There's much to see because it is basically flatland.
Yeah.
With a bunch of farms and fields, and as we say here in Canada, you can
Nebraska,
be driving from Alberta and you can see Regina, Saskatchewan in the distance. You really can't, but that is what they say.
So.
But it's still a beautiful area to go through. And if you were to do the train trip, you'd get to see all that. So,
but yeah, I would suggest 100% like do Banff and Jasper. Like Brad and Chris, Chad Cruisers, they just wrapped up their tour on the West Coast in Alberta, and they did a lovely job being able to really focus on Jasper and Banff. So if whoever's watching and you're interested in going to Jasper and Banff, check out Chad Cruisers. Their videos were absolutely amazing, and they did it justice, and it was really well done. So
yeah.
And it looks like we have some questions.
We have Sailing Away with T and K are here too. Hey guys.
And then it says, is having the border closed disrupting travel plans for a lot of your areas?
Yeah. It's been really tough for us Canadians because once this pandemic did start, Canada automatically went into a state of emergency, and we automatically adapted a 14-day quarantine traveling within anywhere out of
So
Canada.
If you leave the country, you have to, when you come back, you have to quarantine for 14
days,
and
right?
It's not just a simple, oh yeah, I have to stay at home, but you can't actually physically leave your home for 14 days. You have to have a plan of action coming back into Canada. That if you live with people, you have to actually isolate yourself from those people for 14 days.
Wow.
Like it's quite, you can be in the same house, but
Yeah.
like you're supposed to be in a separate room. You're supposed to use a separate washroom. You know, you have to have food delivered. You can't go out and get food. So you have to have a very big plan. So it's a big thing that, you know, if you do want to leave the country, which you can do, you can get on a plane and fly to Mexico right now if you wanted to.
Sure.
But it's the coming back part where most people, if you're taking a week or 2 weeks vacation, you can't take another 2 weeks when you get home and be off work for, say, a month. So,
right.
you know, most people don't have that luxury.
It's really challenging. But I mean, for disrupting travel plans in our area, I mean, we do have a non-essential travel ban. We in the Lower Mainland, we have it's. I consider
they don't want you to travel unless it's essential. It's as easy as that.
See,
but you can still do it. They haven't closed any borders within Canada except for the Atlantic bubble being, you know, Far East. So, but it's changed everybody's outlook where we see a lot more local stuff happening. So people are, you know, say booking a hotel downtown Vancouver if they live out in the suburbs and just going and staying downtown for a couple of days. Or, you know, not that you're necessarily supposed to travel up to Whistler, but that was an option. Many people were doing that. So it's just changed the outlook on travel. It's not, you can't travel abroad, so you stay close to home and you make a staycation out of it. Right?
Yeah.
Ours is just like up like 2 hours this way, stay away from people, and then come back home.
We've been taking one trip every month. To stay in an Airbnb just to kind of just to travel because it's in our blood. And we're just not happy unless we're doing something.
Exactly, right. And like as being travel agents, it's funny because we get deals coming through our inboxes, and you just like my eye twitches, and I'm like, why would you send this to me? Why? It's like, and then I'll be like, Scott, can we? No, we can't go. Scott, can we? No, we can't go. Scott.
It's like the inner struggle inside.
It is the inner struggle. It is.
It looks like there's one more question.
Hello, MGM Travel. It's good to see y'all.
There's that. But we have a question of, what has been your favorite cruise so far?
Ooh.
I think ours is probably the same answer.
Same one, yeah.
We did a cruise to Hawaii round trip from Vancouver. So the fact that you get sort of 10 sea days in total, you get 5 down, 5 back. I love a good sea day. And then you have 5 days of touring the islands, and then you get your 5 days back. So you get the best of both worlds. You get, you know, relaxation and enjoying the ship, plus you get 5 days of doing excursions or, you know, touring the islands, whatever you want to do. And it's the way to see, you know, most of the islands of Hawaii. And, you know, you don't have to be, you know, island hopping and plane hopping. You get to do it from the luxury of a cruise ship. So that was, I think, our favorite.
Yeah, it had to have been. It's like Scott said, and we if there's certain somebody still in this chat, Chris, who doesn't like sea days, we love sea days. Like
I love sea days.
Sea days is the time where you just like it's 9 o'clock and you wake up and you're just like, let's order some room service. You know what I mean? It's that relaxation before knowing that you can go for the next 5 days and then relaxing on the way back. So Hawaii.
That sounds like something I put on my bucket list.
Well, you've been talking about it.
I have.
So it's already there. It's already there. It's not gonna be put on it. It's already there.
If you had to pick one video from your channel that's your favorite, which one would it be?
You can pick.
I can pick. I think you'll agree with this one too. It was our second video. It was why and how you should travel with mobility issues. not a lot of people know, and I don't know why I struggle with it. I struggled with it in the beginning, having to come to terms that I had mobility issues. I was diagnosed, like I said, with psoriatic arthritis, and it rapidly digressed in my knees to the point where my knees deformed, and I've got a permanent bend in both knees. And so I think it was just that whole mindset of having to adapt to a different way of life and not living the old Matty way. And so I tried to film it on my own, and I continued to film it, and I would stop and I would delete it and I would stop. And Scott's like, "What are you doing?" And I said to him, I was like, "I need some help." And so even though he wasn't as vocally active in the video and I was, it would have to be our favorite video because I was raw and I was truthful to myself. And it was something that I needed to expand and explain into the world that, like we said before, the reason why we created our video was that whatever challenges that you have in life, don't let that challenge hinder you to do something that you passionately love. And travel is absolutely ingrained in our blood. We love doing it. And because of what had happened or what was diagnosed with me, I did not let that down. And here we are today. So
It's inspiring.
It's very inspiring. I love that you spoke your truth in that video. And that it made me just pull in and go, okay, this guy is so passionate about this because he's living it. And I hope that y'all do more videos about it.
Well, funny enough is we're actually starting at the end of the month. We're starting segments on how to do mobility and traveling via cruise. Yeah. One month will be like airline. So we're gonna pick different topics every month. And I mean, we're having fun with our vlogs in the way. But I said to Scott, I think our goal and our ambition is for 2021 to really focus about mobility issues and traveling and doing it that way.
So getting back to travel, so
yes,
we can actually share a reality of it. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your answer about the.
See there. Trip. Yes. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad.
Yes.
The Canadian.
It leaves Toronto, stops in Winnipeg, and then does all that.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely be, when we can, checking that out and talking with y'all about that.
Just lost on my people.
You have something else you wanted to say?
That's a great question. I may have just lost my place in the chat, but that's cool.
We'll just keep on doing you.
Yeah, but you keep doing what you do.
All right, so we've talked about being foodies.
Yeah.
So, and Hannah and I asked each other this question too, because we love to experience new food, but also food that we've had, in South Carolina, but made a different way. So what is the most delicious food item that you have ever eaten while traveling?
Well, that's hard.
Ooh.
So, I mean, just in general, we've done different modes of travel. So, but I find going on cruises, you get some of the best food right there on the cruise ship. So I would have to, I mean, this isn't really the answer, but one of the things about traveling that we love is, especially going on cruises, is the food. So, and you get to try so many different things, and you have so many options that you can just try whatever you want because they have so many things, different different styles of food, different types of food that you can try. But I don't know.
See, for me, and unfortunately, Scott didn't attend this trip that I went to, but a few years ago, my brother-in-law and my sister, my brother-in-law is El Salvadorian, so he just said to me, he goes, "Do you want to go to El Salvador with us?" And I was just like, okay. And so we went. And I would have to say, and it's the comment that I made last week on your live with Bob and Holly is I tried live eel for the first time, which was right. It wasn't my favorite, but it was interesting. But to go to my favorite is El Salvadorian cuisine is known for pumpusas, so it's a pumpuseria, and so eating it like at restaurants here or locally or wherever we travel, like it's like, oh, let's try that place, and I was like, it's good. But having authentic Salvadorian food was just like, it was absolutely the best, and it like melts in your mouth, and it was just great. And I'm surprised you didn't answer the Moco Loco in Hawaii. And you're shaved ice. You shaved
cheese ice.
Oh, we've had it.
So like in Hawaii, there's like a chain. So when my grandfather was alive, her father, he worked in Hawaii, and he worked on the island of Oahu, and there was this chain called Zippies, and it's still around. They named it Zippies because Hawaii for the longest time didn't have like a zip code, so like a postal code. They named it Zippies, and so is my cup bothering you?
Yeah, I can't see the screen.
Okay. So they have a local moco there, and my grandfather, every time we went to Zippy's, because we would stay there for weeks on end, he would be like, loco moco. And I'm like, do you get anything else? Me being like the 8-year-old I was back then, I was like, egg, hamburger meat, like fried
Gravy.
rice, gravy. I'm like, what is that? It's like, what is that?
Yeah, we were talking about this. Hannah said her favorite food was also from Honolulu, and it was
well, that's something I crave. That wasn't the best meal I've had, but that's one of my favorite foods.
Yeah,
malasadas.
Okay, and so I'm my background is actually Portuguese, so I born and raised Portuguese. So malasadas are actually it's a Portuguese donut.
Yeah.
So it was funny because beginning of the pandemic, as everybody was baking banana bread and making sourdough bread, there was Matthew actually making malasadas, and it was the first time. And it comes to the point where we dropped them off at my mom's doorstep, and I called her after, and I was like, "So did you enjoy them?" She's like, "They were better than my recipe." I was like, "And thank you."
But they're like, when we went there, there would just be like in Hawaii, there would be like a little like stand in the Walmart parking lot, just like selling malasadas, and we would like be fatties and just like get 2 dozen boxes and just like.
Oh yeah, no, we did that too. Yeah,
they are so freaking good.
Yeah, they're bad, but they're
good.
good.
So good. Yeah.
All right, so when you talked about cruising, what cruise ships have y'all been on? Like as far as cruise lines?
So we have been on Princess and Holland America. This last year, we were supposed to be on Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and Norwegian, and none of those happened. So they are coming up in the near future.
Sure. Yep.
So yeah, we've been on Princess and Holland for the 2 major lines.
2 major lines, and we
and just multiple on each.
Yeah. We enjoyed Holland America.
They've gone through some changes.
Let's put it that way. Would I book it again? If I find a really good itinerary, I would book it again. But at heart, we love our Princess Cruise Lines. We love the way that it's just the pace of it. It's not too chaotic, but you can have fun at the same time. And like Scott said,
it's relaxing.
Yeah. But 2020 was supposed to be our year to try so much more, and that didn't go into the garbage. It's on the back burner. We have some ideas coming up. Cross our fingers once cruising resumes. But yeah,
you'll get to it. I promise. It's gonna happen. So, we did Princess to Alaska in 2015. It was a very nice cruise ship. It was Ruby Princess.
The Ruby Princess, yes.
I don't know.
So I don't know. So, what is your dream destination that you have not been to yet?
Well, for me, it would be the South Pacific. I want to go to Tahiti, that area, and explore all of that area. Yeah.
For me, it would have to be I'm dying to, and I can't wait to visit Australia. I would love to visit Australia and experience that, but I don't want to go to Australia only for a week or 2. Like it's hard. Like I would want to go for a good like I would say a good 4 to 6 weeks, and just to be able to experience it and enjoy it. But it's that and B, time off. So but there's so much more on our bucket list, but I think that would be my top. And I knew Scott would always say the Tahiti and area.
French Polynesia, South Pacific. I think another one that would be big for us is we really want to do an Antarctic cruise. So
and Innocents Abroad has one.
Yes,
and
have it booked. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, live through them, I guess.
We can do it. Yeah.
Everything in the chat.
Everybody's talking about Zippies. Talking about it's the Hawaiian Waffle House.
It's the Hawaiian Waffle House.
And that is very true. Also, people talking about spam.
Spam in Hawaii, yes.
So the biggest thing, like in Hawaii, like in the gas stations, there would be musubi.
Musubi, yeah.
And like you go in there as a girl from the South, you look at it and it's like rice patty, seaweed, spam. I was like, what the heck is that on top? I was like, what is it? Then they had hot dogs split in half, put on top.
Yeah,
I ate that. That was fantastic.
My father would get up in the morning and go down to the gas station and bring it back and put it in front of us for breakfast. We're like, no.
I said, I took the one with the hot dog. I don't do spam.
But yeah, they like spam, and we went because we stayed. My father, like Hannah said, he had a condominium there for 3 years, and so we would go summers and we would spend like 2 or 3 weeks there. Nice. And when we were there, we of course had to go to Walmart and to the grocery stores just to check and see what they had because they had such.
Of course,
we do that wherever we can.
We do the same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. And they had the biggest spam selection I've ever seen in my life. Every kind of spam you could ever imagine. I was like, they make that kind of spam.
You know they make pumpkin spice spam?
They had all kinds of spam. It was but my father loves spam, so I can't knock it too much. But
I think that was us.
They also had the best. Walmart had the best coffee aisle with all that Kona, and it was so cheap. And I was like, and we would just stock up on it and take it home with us.
I think it was our first part. We were in Oahu and we went into the Walmart, of course, the staple piece. So we were driving around, we rented the car for the day. We did the touristy things we did. And we're like, Walmart time. And yeah, same thing. Like we walked down the aisle and I was like, is this whole thing spam? And it was spam upon spam upon spam. Yeah. And the few eyes over, coffee. Yeah. So we bought what we bought. And I think it was in Honolulu when we're like, we need to go back to Walmart. We need to see if there's more of that coffee and let's get some of that spam. So it came home like,
like a whole carry-on with it.
Yeah, we would purchase a new suitcase and take it back home with all the things that we found.
Yeah. I read when I read sometimes I make up words, and I thought what Innocents Abroad was like saying a very fancy word, but then I read it out loud. It's like
you thought he was just being really smart. He didn't.
I thought first time I was like, oh, he's speaking another language. My dumb butt. I was like, and then I was like, I read it very slowly. Oh gosh. Everybody's talking about how wonderful Princess is. Yes. Princess, Australia, Antarctica. Yeah. Woo, woo, everybody's in agreement. And then there's Blaine.
What did Blaine say?
I love some spam.
Blaine. I think my husband would like spam too. He's probably
I think that man eats smoked oysters out of a can.
Oh, he does. He eats some interesting things. Mm-hmm. But he's military, so they used to eating some strange things. Mm-hmm. So, is there a bizarre experience you would like to do that's on your bucket list?
Like something that like you say you want to do and everybody just looks at you going, what? I know it's a hard question. I had to think about it. And like for me, for example, like I have two. Like if I just tell you like, oh, I want to go, I'm copying. Was it Bob and Holly that washed the elephants? Was it them?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I want to bathe an elephant, like at an elephant sanctuary. But I also want to go to like an onsen, which is like a Japanese like spa thing where you get naked with other people. So I want to do that. So I want to get naked with strangers in Japan, basically, in an onsen. And I want to bathe an elephant. So my two weird things have to do with bathing.
Okay, we'll see a pattern there. We'll see a pattern there. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I did my bizarre thing last week. So
yes.
What did you do?
So, last week, I got to do something that I've always wanted to do, which everybody would think is bizarre, but I went to an alpaca farm and got to see alpacas and feed them and play with them, even though it was pouring with rain. But we will go back when we get better weather. But that would have been one of my, I mean, it's not really a travel related thing because it's not that far from us. It's like a 20-minute drive away,
Right.
but that was something I've always wanted to do. And I finally got to fulfill that wish. But for travel, I don't know if there's anything bizarre. I know I've seen experiences in Alaska where you get to zip line sort of near glaciers and stuff. And I wouldn't mind doing something like that just because it's different. You're not like in a rainforest or somewhere doing a zip line. You're actually, somewhere where you can see the beauty of like a glacier going by as you're zip lining by it. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I think for me, this is a lot of people would be like, this is okay, sure. Would be sailing down the Amazon.
Oh, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
100%.
I would love to go down the Amazon River, and I know it's bizarre because a lot of people would be like, "Really, you want to?" I want to turn off my phone, and I want to have my camera, and I just want to take photos, and I want to experience it. And I know with mobility issues, you can't really do that right now, but hopefully down the road, and maybe after some knee surgeries, that could be a bucket list trip, and it could be a dream. But I would say that would probably be my most bizarre. Would be just spending time down in the Amazon.
Yeah. The Amazon, it's a scary place, but I mean, I'm up for it as long as there's someone who's experienced with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody.
What they say?
I speak Bob.
Kona coffee is great. It is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we have a question.
What's been your favorite port or place you visited?
He does what I do. He sings when he thinks.
I have two. So one of them would be Puerto Vallarta. When we did our Mexican cruise, I just really loved the area itself, and the city is really nice to walk through, the actual downtown Puerto Vallarta. And it's just, I don't know, I really had a great time there when we were there. And then the second one would just be anywhere up in Alaska. The beauty of sort of Alaska and the mountains and the glaciers and just all of that is just so beautiful. Wildlife, there's so much wildlife around, and you just sort of feel at one with nature while you're there, even if you're on a cruise ship or whatever it may be. It's very serene and very calm and quiet, and you can just enjoy that. So
for me, it would have to be Kauai. It's just the lush greenery and the majestic just scenery, and just everything about Kauai was gorgeous. I loved the rest of the Hawaiian Islands, but Kauai probably had to have been it because remind me again, what is the green Grand Canyon? What do they call it?
You just had to say that. Now I pulled up.
But Kauai has this. It's this windy road all the way up
a mountain, and then
up a mountain.
It's basically the Grand Canyon of Hawaii,
and it's just lush greenery, and it's just like it's one of those ones where you can just sit there and peacefully watch it and just be like,
Bob's gonna tell us.
Yeah, I know, Bob. Like, yeah. No. But it's one of those places where you could just turn around and just like if you're having one of those days, it would just give you that serene going.
Except for the drive up, it's pretty windy. And
let's not talk about that drive up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like us in Monticello.
Yeah.
The windy up when you get sick.
Yeah.
Oh no. I would think.
Right. Thank you, Bob. Waimea.
There we go.
There we go.
Canyon.
Yeah, Waimea Canyon.
Yeah, and before you
he's the encyclopedia.
Before you drive up there, you have to stop along the way at the Kauai Coffee Company and grab yourself some coffee tasting, because that's what we did. It was amazing. You could tour the plantation, and but such a neat experience.
We did that. We did the Kauai coffee, and I think we did a coffee sampling kind of hour. And then we drove up to Waimea Canyon. I don't suggest doing it that way. I suggest doing the other way around, because on the drive up, being hopped up on coffee, I was literally going, wee, wee. And Scott's like, why are you driving like a madman? I'm like, I'm not driving like a madman. And I was just like going like this, and this. And he goes, dear Lord.
That sounds so familiar. No, I think I would love Kauai because that's where Lilo and Stitch is placed. It's beautiful in the cartoon, so I'm assuming it's beautiful in real life.
It's gorgeous.
That is my ignorant comment for today. Thank you very much. He said, "Nah, I was stationed there for 4 years."
Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you're pretty smart, Bob.
Oh, Marianne Dillon said, Waimea Canyon is amazing.
It's gorgeous.
It is the coffee afterwards.
Yeah.
I miss Hawaii.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, we were supposed to be there a few months ago.
So what's something interesting about you that we don't already know?
Well, for me, I don't share this very often because nobody really needs to know, but I was born 3 months premature. So back when I was born, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I made it through and no issues. But
Miracle baby. Yes, miracle baby.
My boyfriend, he was born during his mother's second trimester, 3 months early as well. And there's a picture of him sitting in his mom's hand. And so, but he thankfully has no health issues either.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good.
All right, Maddie, something interesting about you we don't know?
My life is boring. There's nothing interesting. And something interesting. Well, as a child, I used to be able to put both of my feet to my ears, and I used to pretend they were telephones. I think that was the only interesting thing. Flexible. Yeah, nothing. No.
Scott doesn't look amused. He's just sitting here going, "What did you just say?"
Well, I didn't know that.
So there you go. Yeah.
I think my favorite thing of this video is watching Scott's facial expressions.
We're about to wrap up, but we have one more question for you. Since your channel's fairly new, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about starting a YouTube channel?
Well, I have one thing.
Go ahead.
Don't be scared to do it, and don't think that you need top of the line equipment to do it. We usually just use our phones. Well, that is what we use, is our phones. And just don't be like me. And Bob's gonna make comments. Make sure you film in portrait mode, everybody. Don't film in portrait mode. Film in landscape. Now he's really gonna say something. Make sure you're, filming in landscape, because it'll make it look like it's in a box. And I learned that the hard way. And Bob was the one that pointed it out to me. So yeah, I'll never live it down.
Never live it down. And it was oh yeah, that's a whole different video by itself. But yeah, I do agree with Scott, is just go for it. Try it out. Don't overthink it. I think it's just try it out. Get that mindset that it's gonna do well, and you can do it. And all I can think is, like, you just need to be your own cheerleader and rah, get it done. And look at us now. Like, I mean, our whole mindset was to never, like, we don't want to be YouTube famous, as much as I would love some Jeffree Star money and have my house in Calabasas and and the amount of cars, but that's not my path. And I think we do this. We do it for. Yeah, we don't do it. We do it for fun. We do it for a platform for individuals, and don't let other channels, like, the succession of other channels. And if you're not being successful right away, it's a stride. Don't let it get it down, and just have fun with it. Have fun with it. Yeah. Just, that's it.
Yeah. I always think just be you. I mean, because that was makes you unique about it. And, because we are, we're mother and daughter, but we use this as a bonding thing too, because it's something we could do together that most moms wouldn't be doing with their 20-something-year-old child, So enjoy the time that you have doing it. Have fun, but be you. Don't change and try to look like somebody else, for sure.
Right.
I'm definitely my authentic self.
She's
an open book. She looks at me, he's like, "Stop sharing." Before we end, someone keeps telling me Maddie used to have pink hair.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Okay, there you go. So yes, there was. I think
that was actually our first Alaskan cruise. He had pink hair, and we had to ask the room steward for towels to cover the pillow because his hair was still
fresh. And it
fresh. And they actually brought extra pillowcases and wrapped his pillow in like 3 pillowcases.
That is so cute.
It came to the point where we didn't realize it, and I woke up the next morning and Scott looked at me and he goes, "What did you do?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Look at your pillow." And I swear it was like the Easter bunny just threw up like everywhere. And I was just like, "Oh no." So the poor room attendant, and I was like, I was like, "I'm sorry." And he's looking at me, he's looking at my hair, he's looking at me, and he just started to crack up. And he's like, "That's okay, we'll fix that for you." I was like, "Thank you." So rule of thumb,
best room
yeah. So rule of thumb is don't dye your hair pink literally 48 hours before you go to Alaska. Yeah.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
We have someone here.
Hold on.
Okay.
And portraits, me. And then portrait, unless you're making a short.
Short, you can have it the other way. We had to say that we have Amber Curls here. She says she loved to make an art YouTube video. Amber Curls was Hannah's art teacher in elementary school. And she also worked with me when I was assistant principal at that school. So she is a sweetheart. So hello, Amber. Everybody tell Amber hey.
And I think
that's the second teacher we've had on here of Hannah's. We had our kindergarten teacher.
See, I wasn't a bad kid that the teachers wanted to avoid. I'm a good kid. Because the only reason is because they didn't have to call my mother if I was bad. They just had to walk to her office. And I would know I was in trouble before I would get there because the teacher would say, "I already talked to your mom." I'll be like, "Oh, dang it."
Oh no.
But Amber, you know who to call if you want to start a YouTube channel. We love you and we will help you definitely.
Yes.
Well, thank y'all so much. This has been so much fun. We're gonna do this again. Yeah, if y'all don't mind, we're gonna do this again.
We would love that.
Yeah, we love you guys, and we just appreciate y'all so much. And Hannah, you have something else you want to say?
Yes, of course. Do I not always have something to say? But what I was going to say was, if you haven't already subscribed to No Maps Needed, you need to, because if you haven't realized, they're great people to hang out with, and you need to follow them. So
it's No Maps Needed Travel.
Yes, but you need to, let's say,
do it.
Subscribe. So go ahead and do that. But yeah, so we're going to end it here. We typically say thank you all for joining. Mm-hmm. We hope that you all stay safe and stay healthy out there. Yeah. And from us and from Matty and Scott, have a great night.
And journey on.
And bye.
Bye. Thank y'all.
Bye.
And I got it in the broadcast.